If you were forced to choose only one of your guns to have with you at the end of the world, which one would you pick? Now I know the end of the world has a ton of different meanings, but let's be honest, the news isn't getting better. This is my 11.5-inch 5.56 Cobalt Kinetics Pro, and this is the gun I'd pick. Let's rewind and I'll show you how I got here. I think this thought experiment is an entertaining way for us to consider what truly matters when we're faced with tough circumstances. It reminds me of my favorite quote, "The body can't go where the mind has never been." End of the world gun, what does that even mean? Well, let's define it for ourselves. Protection? Keeping yourself and your family safe is a priority, and keeping others from taking what you have is another key priority. Avoidance. I'm trying to stay away from zombies and looters. Not drawing attention is a valuable tactic. Short gun, easy to maneuver, conceal, sling and move with, and being suppressed is about as much as you can ask for. Hunting. Yes. With well-placed shots, you can hunt most sizes of game in North America successfully. I'm not recommending it, I'm just saying end of the world, we do what we had to, and this will do that. What's your end of the world gun? Start an apocalypse in the comments. For this exercise, there were a few key factors that I took into consideration. The first and foremost was the gun's reliability and durability. Now before I get too deep, I did have a massive failure, and I'll cover that in detail later. The receivers are made from strong 70-75 T6 billet, the good stuff, and the handguard is made from good quality 60-61 material. Cost to the consumer is likely the main factor for the difference in materials used, but I don't know. Cobalt Kinetics analyzes every single detail down to the screws and ensures that they're held to the highest standards. The fit and fitment is stellar with clean seams and zero wobble. They created a better locking system for the barrel and the handguard, so it has an upper receiver extension and a reverse threaded barrel nut that lets the barrel sit evenly so that they can machine everything to tighter tolerances. This is all just to eke out every last drop of accuracy and has the benefits of a monolithic design without some of the quirks. Now part of reliability is accuracy. 11.5-inch barrel? You may think you're limited just to close quarters, but that's just not the case. I tested the gun's accuracy in different scenarios from close engagements to 400 yards with ease and repeatability, even in full value wind. I hit 500 yards several times. I also took it out to 500 and hit that too several times. I tested with mostly 55 grain bullets, but the barrel's 1-in-7 twist allows for effective use of heavier projectiles. Now, I also want to mention that they do use Roscoe barrels, and I've had outstanding luck with Roscoe and shot many thousands of rounds through them. I did notice people shitting on that on the internet, but I see Roscoe has become an upper tier barrel company with a mid-range price. They've gotten really good and they actually care, which is different. Now you may wonder why the 11.5-inch. Mostly to keep it compact, there's a little bit of added velocity, but also increased dwell time over 10.5 and shorter barrels. Dwell is the time between the bullet passing the gas port and exiting the muzzle, and it matters because increased dwell time equals more gas entering the action, which should equal more reliability. There are a ton of factors that contribute to reliability, but this has an excellent balance of all of them. I'll also say that running this gun suppressed has amped up the dirty factor. I've gotten it so dirty and gunked up that it stopped working reliably, so I wiped out the receiver, wiped out the BCG, oiled it, and we were back to the races. Now keep in mind this was after months of shooting and thousands of suppressed rounds. That's a lot and it's dirty. Now next, I would want it to be in a common platform in a common caliber. Eventually things will break. The AR-15 is one of the most popular guns in the country, and it is in common use, you loser ass feds. The ammunition and components for it is plentiful and it is easy to reload. This gun uses common parts that are serviced with common tools. No special barrel nut tools. Like, how annoying are those? Easy to use, easy to work on, just like Stoner intended. Hey, quick break. Your comments have been incredibly motivating, and I think you're all enjoying the videos. If you share these videos or your thoughts on them with your friends, Reddit, social media, whatever, it really helps, and I appreciate you. Now, some other key factors are going to be versatility and usability. It runs suppressed or unsuppressed with no changes, no adjustable gas blocks necessary. Running ambi controls is really nice to have, and this has it with an ambi safety and mag release. It also runs a standard bolt catch. The safety is a nice 45-degree short throw, and I actually really like it. I disengage the safety with my thumb and generally re-engage with my index finger as I bring the gun down. The 11.5-inch barrel is easy to maneuver with, even suppressed. It's a good size trade-off. Now with all my accessories, it has become a bit front heavy, but it's not terrible, and if you're a man and you lift, you can do it. I don't lift, but I can still do it. The trigger is a Geisley 2-stage trigger averaging about 4.5 pounds. It does have a clean break, it does have a crisp reset. I do have some complaints though. Keep watching. The recoil is one of the best parts of this gun. It's smooth and kind of magic. The combination of its parts leads to a gun that is easy to get back on target and engage with accurate shots quickly. 5.56 is a soft shooting round anyway, but this one's just something different. Now for my setup, I may change it a bit for the end of the world, but as I have it set up for this video, video. Let's start at the front. I'm using a KGM Technologies R556 silencer. Notice that Caveman LLC heat band. The suppressor has been great and reliable. It's full auto rated, it's short, and as you can see from the finish, it is well used, like your mom. We're back to the jokes. It takes the sauce out of the shots, and I'm comfortable using it without hearing protection within reason. Keep an eye out for the full review soon. Dun dun dun! I also have their muzzle device that fits the Dead Air Chemo. It works really well, I love it, and the gun shoots even flatter with it, but it is a trade-off. Flat shooting or quiet. With the ports on the front of the suppressor, I do feel like I've got a good balance. I chose the stainless steel Cerakote and I love it, but it will likely get rattle canned now that the review's done. You can also get it in black, CK green, FDE, and charcoal. I'm running a Cloud Defensive rain weapon light with a remote switch on an Arasaka Defense inline scout mount to keep it tight to the gun. Prevents snagging in the woods or everywhere else. On top, I'm rocking a Swamp Fox Optics 1-10 Arrowhead LPVO with offset and Armored Liberty red dot. I trust the Arrowhead and I personally have beat it within an inch of its life and still been able to use it effectively. And finally, as always, a Flatline Fiber Coast sling. Now before we go any further, let's talk about price. These are about $2,400, which reminds me that every single product in this video is listed at the link in our description with pictures, links, and coupon codes, even discounts on these guns. Now I didn't start this video saying, let's find the cheapest rifle for the end of the world. I said, what is my end of the world gun? And I hope through the video you have an idea of why I chose it. My favorite story is that my father-in-law puts together some awesome guns. And when I told him about this one, he scoffed and said that he could build it for half that price. I brought it to the range, he shot it, handed it back to me and said, I can't build this gun. To me, that spoke volumes. Now, as an exercise, I researched and put together a price list of equal quality and equal reputation parts, and it amazingly, retail came out to almost exactly $2,400. Now, with their experience and attention to detail and one gun, one gunsmith policy, I believe that they build better ARs than I do. I think it's an exceptional value for what I got. Kind of a negative, but I'd also like to mention a lot of gun content creators mostly have guns sent to us for free, and any that try to justify cost to you are assholes. My job is to tell you the facts, share my experience, so you can make your own choices. Sorry, not sorry. Fight me. Actually, no, don't. With my luck, they'd send Mr. Guns and Gear and he'd make me cry in front of my friends. Again. Now, let's break it down. The pros. One of the smoothest shooters I own. I hope you've seen in the footage just how smooth the recoil impulse is. It's tough to describe it or even show it on video, but it is there. It's reliable. I pushed it to failure and it took me a really long time. Now take note that my beard is way shorter in some of this footage. I've been testing this gun for a long time. And the cons. I don't like two-stage triggers and I'm genuinely unsure why they put one in here. I can think of 10 similarly priced and regarded that are better. And that brings me to my next point that I promised at the beginning, the failure. One day I was shooting prone in the Colorado dirt, and when I put a mag in, some tiny rocks and pebbles were inside of it and dropped down, and they eventually became jammed under the trigger disconnector. It was completely non-functional and I had to uninstall the trigger by taking out the pins to figure out what was wrong. It's a 1 in a billion thing and honestly just bad luck. Probably never happen again in my lifetime, but my job is to be honest and report the failure. Forward assist gang, homie. I wants it and I needs it. One word. Kyle Rittenhouse. Warranty. They call it a legacy lifetime warranty, and that's awesome. However, I noticed part of it says that if the breakage is caused by lack of or improper cleaning, it might not be covered. That's lame-ass lawyer speak and a little too open for me. Like, who decides that? I ain't cleaning shit, bruh. This is the one that they will find in a pile of zombies, and they can pry it from my cold dead hands, unless I'm a zombie. But if you want to see which pistol I'd pick for the end of the world, then watch this video.